Hello, everyone. This is Charles McNeely, and seated next to me, but a long way away, we're on Zoom, is Ms. Debbie Harrison. Debbie, you're in Lafayette right now, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm in Lake Charles, and we're here today. It's another episode of getting enlightened and getting educated on living with MS. I guess, let's start with that big question. Why are you doing this? Why is it so important for you to share your story with us?
For somebody else to look at it and see something they're going through and know that somebody else has gone through it and maybe a little bit of how to deal with it.
After that question, that's some very important questions that I have to ask for us to get to know you. Okay, so the first big question is, what is your favorite ice cream?
My favorite ice cream is homemade vanilla, but it's more my go-to because I will try this and try that or hear about this, but if I'm going to buy something to put in the freezer, it's homemade vanilla.
Love it. That is so good.
Yes.
Another question. What's your favorite food? You live in Louisiana. What's your favorite food?
Lobster.
We don't have that. We got a small one over here, the crawfish. But
Which
lobster. What's your favorite song? Do you have one? Or
Dobie Gray, Drift Away.
Nice. Beautiful song. Yes.
Give me the beat and free my soul.
Yes.
Get lost in rock and roll. It just kind of, you're listening to music and it takes your problems away for a while.
Finally, you have a favorite childhood memory that you can share with us?
When I was in junior high and most of high school, the family would go up to Colorado for a couple of weeks in the winter. And because it was kind of a repeat thing, I got to know it a little better. It was just wonderful. We'd go different places. My dad had friends up there. And so that's one of my favorite childhood memories is visits to Colorado.
Well, thank you, Debbie. Thank you for all of that. From homemade vanilla all the way to some wonderful memories of Colorado. Can you give us an idea of some of the highlights of your life, accomplishments in your life that you experienced before your diagnosis with MS?
Okay. I did well in high school. I took dance. I was on the dance team, so that's kind of my end of the arts.
That's cool.
I went to work right after high school.
Okay.
I went to work for a welder. I was it was a small shop and I was the secretary, bookkeeper, whatever. And after I got out of high school, I was looking for some place to rent. So I went to rent this house and the guy said, he and his wife were there. They said, well, we live next door and I have a shop back here. I mean, this is Lafayette, okay?
Yes.
Do you want a job? We need a secretary. So pretty much I rented the house and made maybe $100 more. Because they didn't pay my rent. And then I went on for about a year. I was looking for a better paying secretary position, and I went into a real estate company and visited with the guy, and he said, you really don't need to be a secretary. You can sell real estate. And I said, okay. So you had to have education. So he paid for me to drive to Baton Rouge every day and go to class for a week, and then I passed the test, and then I got my real estate license.
Oh my goodness.
And I started doing that for a while.
Okay.
But one of my clients was a state senator, and I went to him because the law was, at the time in Louisiana, you were an adult at 18.
Okay.
And I was 18 when I got my license.
Okay.
And the law said you have to work for a year before you can be a broker.
Okay.
And you have to be 21. And when you look at the numbers, that doesn't work. So I went to Armin and I was all of my 18-year-old brightness. That's age discrimination. I can't believe. Calm down. You're right. We'll just get it taken care of. So he took me to Baton Rouge, and we lobbied to lower the age to 18 and 1 year of experience. So we did that. So I was the youngest broker in Louisiana.
That is so cool. You got up there and just laid down the law and said, hey, look, this is wrong. And at the age of 18, that's so good. Anything else that you feel before you were diagnosed that you would want to share?
Well, I guess we have to touch on the diagnosis thing. Okay. Because I was first diagnosed in 1993.
There we go.
I had optic neuritis. My vision turned gray. So I went to an eye doctor, and he sent me to a neurologist, and the neurologist did MRIs and said, you have 3 lesions on your frontal lobe. It's like scar tissue. You have multiple sclerosis, but there is no medicine for it. And you're going to fall into the prior illness. What am I trying to say?
Yes, something about it for insurance.
Insurance. If you've had a prior condition, they won't insure you. And he said, so I'm not diagnosing you. And he said,
good doctor.
A very, very good doctor. He said, you'll know when it becomes a problem. You'll know. Right now, you don't have any other symptoms. Okay. So that was considered a clinically isolated syndrome.
Now that's a type of MS, right? CIS, clinically isolated syndrome.
Correct.
And that's what you had. That's what
I had. That's what I had until 2015.
Okay, so from 1993 to 2015, you pretty much stayed in that type and really didn't have anything major happen during that time?
I know now, looking back, because I know what a lot of the symptoms are. Yeah. I would have a mild version of a symptom, but not enough to stop me, and it would go away.
Okay.
So that's just like anything else. I mean, when you're in your 20s, 30s, you're busy. You just ignore it. Now, I mean, if it had gotten worse, I would have checked up on it. But it was just little things here and there.
Okay.
But nothing I had to address. And then in 2015, you want to go straight onto that?
Well, can we talk about what you did between 1993 and 2015 that may be, accomplishments or highlights that happened during that time?
Okay, I graduated in nursing with a 3.9.
A nursing degree?
A nursing
university?
Degree, yes.
Registered nurse?
That's a test you take after.
Okay.
Yes. I went to nursing school for 4 years. I did 2 in Lafayette, and then my husband transferred to New York. So I ended up on Long Island going to State University of New York at Stony Brook.
Yes, I know
which was an awesome campus.
Nice.
Every kind of medical profession, from doctors to nurses to physical therapists to chemists, we all went to classes together until we got specialized, and the interaction was just awesome.
That's wonderful.
So I graduated from that, came back, passed my RN, went to work, did a lot of different kind of nursing. Moved to Mandeville, which is near New Orleans.
Right, yeah, North Shore, yeah.
Worked there. I went to work for Hillrom, selling medical supplies. You'll see their name on beds in the hospital. Hillrom does a lot of medical equipment, and then moved back to Lafayette with the kids. I guess my nursing degree was the big thing.
Yeah.
And then after I moved back to Lafayette, I started doing work on the side as, okay, here's my memory problem.
It's okay.
Medical, I was reviewing charts and if the providers had followed the standard of care, or if there was a bad outcome, was it because of something specific that was done or not done?
Okay.
So I did that for a little while.
Wow.
led
That's
to,
helpful. That's nice.
yeah, it worked out pretty good. Well, I went to work for the state of Louisiana.
Nice.
Contacted me because of my medical nursing ability.
Nice.
And it was really cool because it was state of Louisiana Department of Justice Medicaid fraud unit.
Wow.
So for the most part, I was going into facilities like hospitals or nursing homes,
Sure.
reviewing charts, evaluating care. And there was a small unit. We had maybe 10 investigators, and I was the only nurse. And we had another 5 or 6 attorneys, and that was pretty much it. Well, it was a gun-toting unit. That's what they call it. So I had to go to police academy for 10 weeks.
Good.
I know, I've done a lot, and it's been fun.
That sounds like it. That's amazing.
But I did it, and shot second in my class.
All right.
And
What do you shoot now? Do you still have it?
Yeah, just
Okay.
a regular Glock 9.
Got you. Yeah. Great piece. Okay.
Yeah. So I did that, and that was very rewarding
Nice.
because there's
Yeah.
just not much oversight in some of those and the nursing homes.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was doing that when Katrina hit.
Oh, wow. Okay. 2005. Okay.
So after that, it was going into New Orleans, and it wasn't good. I don't think I need to go into any of that. But
Yeah.
after that, my kids had left home. I have 2 boys.
All right.
They had graduated, gone to college. So my boyfriend and I, we'd been friends for 30 years, who knew we were attracted to each other until Katrina. And it really threw us together, and we had to work together, and we've been
Nice.
together since then.
That's so good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes. So where was I going? What was the last thing I said?
Let's see. You, the boys were gone and everything.
So he's been a law enforcement officer. It was 50 years, March 1st.
Wow.
He wanted to take the bar exam. He wanted to,
What?
and he's done that before. He's taken it twice, passed it twice, and then the opportunity disappeared. So he couldn't follow through. But he said, why don't you go ahead and take it with me? I thought about it. I worked with the attorneys in fraud unit so close, preparing documents. I thought, well, why not? So I went to law school at night. I worked nursing. I did hospice nursing on the weekends, which was amazing. It was,
Yeah.
of all the nursing I've done, I would have gone back to hospice. It's just really, really amazing.
Yeah.
So we went and took the bar exam, and I passed, and he didn't. He took it well, though, and went to work in Lafayette for a law firm here that does medical malpractice. So that's
Nice.
why the medicine combines with the law. It's medical malpractice. It just makes sense. It's a fit.
Yeah.
So I did that. I graduated in 2009. I did that until 2015. And one day I sat down in front of my computer and I didn't know how to type. I could not. Most of my lesions are cognitive.
Okay.
I couldn't retain a thought long enough to go from, okay, that's the word indispensable.
Right.
So I need to start with an I. I mean, it's all the things that you do automatically
Yes.
that I couldn't do. I, at that time, was having a relapse or an exacerbation. And what
Now,
happened?
That's the next type, right? You had the CIS, clinically isolated syndrome, and then another type is the relapse remitting. Is that what you were going through then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I made an appointment with the doctor at Ochsner's in New Orleans, since that's where I
Nice.
was before.
Nice.
And she said, it was so strange. She said, we can't pull up your medical records because it's been too long. And we were doing the evaluation, and I said something about, she said, you know what? I'm going to look up the MRI because we hadn't cleansed our radiograph.
Right. It's been 22 years too. I mean,
she actually pulled it up. She actually pulled it up, and she could look at it, and she could compare it with the one I just did. And she said, yes, you're definitely.
What a wonderful blessing and gift to have that.
Mm-hmm.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Good job, Oshner. That's excellent. Holding on to that.
I had some good neurologists, still do.
Yes.
Still, my primary care provider, even though I'm in Lafayette, is the MS clinic at Oshner's in New Orleans.
Nice. Okay.
And so much online.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even have to call. I can pull up my phone and type in a question, and within 24 hours, I'll get an answer.
That's some great overcoming of some pretty major things. So, yeah, we're getting a sense of you are a bit stronger possibly than many people would give people credit for. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
and,
I was a tough day, but I had a good life.
Yes, it sounds like it. And you know, let's hope that as time goes on, it'll make it easier for those with MS, hopefully. We're praying for that. So,
well, they're learning things. Like if I had a clinically isolated syndrome right now, they would put me on a disease modifying treatment. DMT.
So there's something now for that.
There is. Even if you don't have symptoms, I could be without symptoms right now. I can still have damage going on.
Right.
So they're starting to put people on medication much sooner.
Nice.
So that progression doesn't, the mental progression doesn't continue or not as fast. So they've been learning so much that they're using it now. So I was relapsing, remitting, and I went on Copaxone.
What is it called?
Copaxone.
Copaxone. Thank you.
It was a pen, an injection pen.
Okay.
And you did it once a day, and it stung, and it left whelps on my tissue that some of them went away, but a lot of them didn't. I mean, I still have lumps and bumps and things all over your waist and your hips because it was usually within that area that you gave shots.
Yes.
And then they modified those to 3 times a week.
Okay.
But I had a relapse, and I went on to Aubagio. Aubagio. It was a pill you take every day. And I went on that for about a year and a half, but my MRIs showed that I was still progressing some. So I went on to Ocrevus, which is an IV infusion. Takes about 4 or 5 hours, but it's only every 6 months.
Oh, well, that's okay.
That's doable.
Yes.
That's doable. So did that for a couple of years. Had another big relapse, and the MRI showed some changes. My lesions were worse, so I went on to Zeposia, which I'm on now.
Right.
There's some things that are not even necessarily prescription. They've discovered that vitamin D is very essential for someone with MS.
Nice. Okay.
And that's a two-edged sword because I can't go outside and get vitamin D from the sun.
Yes.
I can't.
So take the vitamin.
Yeah.
That helps. Okay.
And the doctor will tell you, probably whatever doctor, it's like 5,000 milligrams a day. There's some, that gabapentin is a prescription they prescribe a lot. it settles your nerves. I guess you'd probably have to look it up, which is why I'm no longer a practicing nurse. But it's something that does help with nerve pain. I take it morning and night, and I can tell when I don't have it.
Hey. That shows that it's definitely working for you. So if somebody doesn't know about that, they can bring it up with their doctor.
I take a muscle relaxer.
Okay.
Trying to think of the Zeposia, which is the pill I'm on now. It's one pill once a day. Baclofin's a big one. It again is a muscle relaxer. The non-prescription stuff I take is the vitamin D, two multivitamins actually. You take it for your stomach. It's something that's come up lately. Probiotics. Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes. Absolutely.
Probiotics.
Yes, I've heard of them. Okay.
They're learning that your gut has a lot to do with, it's not just digesting food. It has a lot to do with a lot of things in your body. So the probiotics I take and they learn different. I started making shakes in the morning. A protein shake, but you can put a lot of stuff in it that you can get naturally.
Yes. Okay.
So I probably might not have done if I hadn't gotten MS. But since November, my boyfriend had acute renal failure. Just overnight, quit peeing. Went to the doctor, ended up in the hospital. We were there for 8 weeks. He was on dialysis. Nobody could figure out what was going on, which is very unfortunate because after he got out of the hospital and saw his regular urologist, it was an enlarged prostate. And all he had to do was do a little insertion called a urolift to lift it up out of the way, and he was fine, except he was on dialysis.
Okay.
And you don't leave somebody in the hospital alone if they can't communicate well. Right. So I was there all the time, except when I ran out to do laundry or something. So I was in the hospital with him. Yeah. Stress is a big problem. It will lead to a flare. Well, I had an exacerbation January 16th that I just froze. Walked in the hospital and I froze. Couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. And I was just standing there going, my mind was saying, well, what am I going to do? And they got a wheelchair, sat me in it, wheeled me back to ER. Thank goodness I was at Ochsner because they could pull up my records, knew I had MS, gave me prednisone, IV prednisone, which is the standard to take down the inflammation. Because with the process of MS, your body's attacking itself.
Right.
It leaves either scar tissue or no tissue, which keeps the signals from going through. So what the prednisone does,
the coating of the nerves is being damaged, and that's okay.
Yeah, and prednisone takes the inflammation down. So steroids are what they go with, and it does work quickly.
Nice.
So I was released by 3 o'clock that afternoon to go back upstairs and stay in the hospital with him. Right. I did that in February, and it was stress related. It was February 12th. But I could feel it coming on then, and I just walked into the ER. I got my steroids, went back upstairs, and really had to readjust the way I was handling things. I wasn't staying overnight. Thank goodness he was discharged a week or two later.
Okay. Right.
But now I'm trying to find out where I am. Yeah. I was just so not in touch with myself, and now I've been sleeping a lot because I had to catch up.
Yeah.
And my balance is okay, which is one of the first things I checked, because last spring I fell 6 times in 4 months.
Oh,
And it was simply a balance problem.
right.
And I didn't know it was going to happen until it happened. So I went to physical therapy, and they worked with me really good and stopped that.
Good.
But with MS, it's going to always be something. And it may not be something as drastic as a flare or a fall. But right now, I'm not in a flare, I'm not in a fall, and I'm not all here. I'm not all together. And I don't know how to fix that except give it some time. But the other day I got in the car to drive, and I was raised in Lafayette, and I was going somewhere I knew. And my first thought was, when I pull out of the driveway, do I turn right or left?
Okay.
So I had to sit in the car and literally plan the entire trip. I'm going to take a left. I'm going down Amelia. Then I'm turning over to. I literally had to plan the whole thing out.
Yes.
Or I couldn't have gone.
Yes.
And that's scary when so many things happen.
Exactly.
Well, we did some MRIs, which is like part of your MS treatment. Sometimes people do it once a year. We always do it twice a year. Nice. And after the second fall, she sent me in to do an MRI to make sure I wasn't having additional inflammation and lesions.
Yeah.
So it's not that. My body's going to right itself. I just kind of have to be aware.
Yes. Okay.
And I've backed off my calendar. I'm not doing very much. And that's so hard. You know, like yesterday, I was supposed to go see my grandkids who live 2 miles away.
Oh.
And I did church and all that, went to family to eat, got home. I was done.
Yeah.
I was done. I couldn't drive a mile to go visit with the grandkids. Yeah. And that's one of the hardest things. And family has gotten used to it now. You know, you make plans and you have to cancel them at the last minute.
Yes. Yes.
And the other thing is a caregiver. You need, and it can be 2 or 3 different people, but you really need to cultivate somebody who can be a helpmate for what you need. And everybody's going to be different. But remember that they need their time and space and rest. And they need to be appreciated. You're not getting a nurse.
Yeah.
You're getting a friend.
Yes.
You know, my good friends understand, but you've got a good support system. You've got to have a good support system.
And that my next question kind of deals with that for you and for anybody watching. When you think about supporting that one person that you really need, what I've asked people is that person. Would you rather them be a cheerleader for you, a comedian for you, a good listener, or someone to help you physically get from one place to another? What's best for you, do you feel? Or is there another way that you would prefer a caregiver to be or do?
I think probably a good listener.
Nice.
If it's somebody you can get good feedback from.
Yes.
You know, it's not even just listening. It's somebody you can have a
teacher,
real conversation.
I guess.
Yeah.
A listener who's also a good teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll have to add that one on there. So thank you, Debbie. Thank you. I know that one of the things you sent me the last few days was to look at, the 2 websites on the 2 major MS organizations, and you suggested that I look at what they said about caregivers. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that really hit me when I looked at that was it's important that once you're diagnosed, and also for caregivers, that both with MS and then caregivers, it's important that you strive to be mentally prepared. Mm-hmm. And by that, they meant to sit down basically and say, what am I most worried about? Mm-hmm. And okay, once you have that, what if that would happen? Mm-hmm. What steps could I take today? What resources could I tap into so I could be prepared for it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts about that idea of what am I worried about? Okay, let's take care of it before it happens, or do what I can about what before it happens. You have any thoughts on that?
Um, yeah, it's very important to do that. And you need to be pretty specific because Dale and I had talked about it. If I had become unconscious or
Right.
went into spasms, into a seizure,
Seizure, yes.
what, call 911.
Right.
Well, you don't think about other things. One night, I got up to go to the bathroom. It was probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and Dale heard a noise and came in, and I was laying on the floor. He couldn't pick me up. My son, who lives a mile away, he called. Trevor's a big boy, and they both got me onto the bed, but I was unresponsive. And they were freaking out, so they called 911. And they got me to the hospital, and I was unconscious for 24 hours. Long story, but I had the flu, I had COVID, and I had a UTI.
Oh my gosh.
Women need to know UTIs are easy to happen, and they will throw you in a flare. They can render you unconscious.
Okay.
It's just a bad
So
thing.
it wasn't the flu or COVID that knocked you out. It was a UTI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't normally get those. I'm very careful about that. But then again, that's the bladder thing.
Yes.
And if you retain urine because you don't know you have to go,
right,
then you take a chance on developing a UTI.
Yes.
So I'm back and forth to the bathroom at home all the time.
Definitely. Yes. How big of a problem is that as far as incontinence?
It's a pretty big problem, and mine's not bad. I mean, mine's light, but still, I have to know where the bathroom is in Albertsons, or I'm going to have to get in my car and go home.
Goodness.
And so that's another thing you have to incorporate in your day that you don't normally think about as a regular person.
Yes. Yes.
But if you're going to a friend's house to visit for 3 hours, you're going to use the bathroom twice.
Yes.
You have to be okay with that.
Yes. Hopefully you are. Yeah. But
I'm dry mouthed from my medication.
yes.
So I drink water.
Yes.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember the day where I put my purse and got my grocery list, went to the grocery store without thinking about it and going home. Now, it's like, make sure you have your water with you. Make sure you have your list with you, because there's no way you're going to remember anything.
Right.
Go to the bathroom before you leave. So the planning it takes
Yes.
to do something, when we talk about spoons for energy,
Yes.
it takes a lot more effort to do daily things that it didn't used to take, and people don't know how to figure that in.
Absolutely. And you talked about the spoons. And for those who don't know about that, there's basically a measurement system that is used not only with MS, but a number of other challenging medical challenges, where you wake up every morning and you kind of get a sense of how many spoons you have of energy to help you get through the day. And sometimes you'll have 20, and sometimes you'll have 3, and that's the amount of spoons that you'll be able to function for that day, and then you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to rest. Am I describing it the way you see it, or can you add anything to that as far as the spoon technique?
No, I go with 5 spoons, and they're units of energy. I told you before we started recording, I woke up this morning with 3 spoons. That means I have 2 left. I really didn't do anything. In fact, I knew we were going to come and talk, and you're not going to understand this, but about noon, it occurred to me, something you had said, it occurred to me, oh yeah, we're going to not just be chatting on Zoom, we're going to be recording.
Yes.
I didn't put that together until
Didn't have to
then.
put that. Okay.
So I had to change clothes at the farm, get in my car, drive over here to the condo to be at my computer. And I know that doesn't make sense, but
No.
there was a gap in my memory. I knew we were meeting on Zoom. Everything was okay. And then I went, oh, wait, he's going to record it.
That part hadn't connected. Yes. Yeah.
And I can see, I've gone through times where I've almost been a hermit.
Yes. I could see where that would be a part of it.
The problem, and I told you this the other day, is because my problem's so cognitive, I used to be a voracious reader.
Yes.
I loved to read. That was my pastime, not TV, not puzzles.
And you said used to be. So.
Because I can get a quarter of the way into a novel and not remember which character was related to what other character.
Yeah. Now, as you're going through this, is there anything you would like to tell someone who is also going through something similar to this that's helped you, during these years of dealing with it?
Be kind to yourself. It's something we're not, you get the idea in this country, in this time, that if you take time for yourself, you're being selfish. And there's so many things out there to do. If you say no to something, it's like, what's wrong? And you've got to put yourself in a mindset where you are first.
Yes.
Because there's a consequence if you're not. And it's called an exacerbation or a relapse.
Yes.
And
there's a difference to me putting yourself first and putting your health first.
Mm-hmm.
And you're putting your health first. And that to me is not selfish. That's taking care of it so that you'll be there for your loved ones,
mm-hmm.
and everyone who counts on you. So I don't see that, but yeah, there are some people who, put themselves first and
right.
when they are, not suffering and not they're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Put your health first. That to me, there's a difference. So
educate yourself. Educate yourself every day. It's not like something you can read up on and it's done.
And it's done, right?
There's pages every day. There's stories every day. Things you can pick out that you can use.
Yeah.
I get little articles from the National MS Society, those societies that are agencies that you can join for free that are MS support areas. In fact, one of them, they mentioned it at the seminar we were at, the symposium. I ordered a cooling vest. I'd forgotten about that. I know that National Society has them. I've thought about it before, and then I just forgot. But now I want to plant some flowers in the yard, but I'm very heat intolerant. That means I go out at 6 or 7 here, and I'm good for maybe an hour.
Yes.
know, I've learned some good things from MS. I've learned some good things about me. That it's okay to slow down and take care of yourself. The world's not depending on you. You know, if you decide to sleep in one day, everything's going to be the same the next day. Yeah. You know, it's just, I think perspective maybe is different. Religiously, I've gotten deeper involved, both spiritually and with my church family, which has been wonderful, you know. So yeah, I think just going easier, and it's okay.
Yes.
And reading short books.
Yes, that's also, yeah, kind of take yourself away for a moment and go to a different world possibly. So, but
something I can read in 2 sittings, and I'm a real fast reader, but you know.
Right, but still, yes, yeah. Thank you, Debbie.
I just try and keep a positive attitude, and when I'm having a bad day or a few bad days, I know it's going to get better. You know, I kind of sit in it and take it instead of fighting it. Yeah. Just sit it and take it. And, you know, tomorrow when I get up, I may feel better. And if I don't, then it'll be the day after. Just don't be hard on yourself. Yes. Take it as it comes and take advantage of the good times.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for being with us today and watching this. Thank you, Debbie Harrison, for sharing this vital and wonderful information. I hope everyone who watches this gains some kind of understanding or benefit from it. And please look for other things that DevDoc Theater is doing with the MS community. So thank you all very much for listening and watching. Take care.